Well, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Monday, April the 17th, 2023. Monday, April the 17th. Normally, you know how I leave some of the good stuff for last. I'm diving in, y'all. I'm diving in. Bam! Stark decides. Oh, he tells Phyllis, I'm going with you. First he tells her, oh, you know what? I transferred half of your money into one of my accounts. I think he said on the Cayman Islands. Then she looked at him and says, why would you transfer half of my money? She goes, bottom line, if anything happened, my money being wired to one of your accounts, that links us. You know, huh? And so he's like, yeah, could be, but you're my wife. Who wouldn't, nobody think anything of it. And so he goes, yeah, she finally tries to trick him because she was just heck bent on going to telling her kids she was alive, period. She could not let them suffer. So he tries to talk her out of it and tells her he ain't letting her do that because she's dead anyway. He will put her in a shallow grave. And she goes, you're bluffing. You're not a killer. Right. And so then she tries to, yeah, you know what? You're right. I have to accept it. And she sits on the bed. Okay, I have to start a new life. And he goes, good. Glad to hear you talking like this because we're going to have such fun sipping, martinis and on the beach. And she's like, we're going to have fun. What are you talking about? Oh, well, I change of plans. I'm going to be right there with you. She goes, why would you change your life to come wherever I'm going to go? He goes, to make sure you stay dead. And so Phyllis is like, oh, no. She's thinking, okay, I got to come at this another way. So they're standing up because she's like, no, I mean, there's no reason for you to come, be with me, And so he pulls her close and he's like, no, this could be real nice for the both of us. And she's kind of got her hand in between, like, oh, and he goes, look, you're my wife now. You belong to me. When has Phyllis Summers ever belonged to a man as his possession? Arm candy, yes. Girl toy, yes. If anything, if he knew anything about Phyllis, is where with her obsessive compulsive behavior, unfortunately, the men are her possessions. She obsesses over them so badly, Danny Romalotti, that she'll obliviate their life, right? That's Phyllis. She don't belong to nobody. She feels they belong to her. So she goes, nope, it's not, no, we don't want to mix this in. It's not a good idea. So she pushes him away and she makes a run for the door. And when she does that, he dashes for the door, puts his hand to stop it so that she can't open it, grabs her and kind of throws her back opposite the door. She goes, you can't stop me. You can't stop me from going into town and going to my kids. And he looked at her and he looked at the knife that was on the scissors that were on the desk right next to him. And she kind of glanced at those scissors and she glanced at him. He says, as he's slowly picking them up, I'm going to put you in a shallow grave. And she goes, what are you doing? What are you doing? You don't have to do that. Wait, you don't have to do that. And so she makes a mad dash for the bathroom. And he is mad dashing after her, and all you hear screaming is no. And I was like, what's going to happen? What's happening here? Oh my goodness, I didn't see that coming, right? Then when they finally get back to them, there's this wrapped up body in a tarp. Where the tarp came from, I don't know, but you know, look, every good hotel has a tarp up under the bed, y'all. That's an FYI tip. You staying in a hotel, check under the bed. There's a blood leak proof tarp up under there, okay? I'm just saying. Because how that got there, I don't know, right? So the cat and the bloody scissors are next to it. We still don't know who it is, although if you really look at the size of the sheet, I'm thinking Phyllis ain't that big, realistically. But you know, it was the camera effects. So then you see like some bloody hands leaning down, picking up the scissors. And then they go past her dark velour jumpsuit. And I said, woo! Phyllis got in there and turned the tables. Because see, you want to know what, everybody? Phyllis is a killer. Jeremy wasn't, but Phyllis was. And who knows what Phyllis had ready in that bathroom. Something she was able to, because come on, there's no way she could overpower him, but something she was able to catch him off guard. I wish they would have shown that scene, man, right? And catch him off guard, get the scissors, and she put a hurting on him. And you could tell she stabbed him up pretty good because of all the blood splatter on her face. So she's coming out, she's trying to wipe off her hands and her arms. And I'm thinking, girl, don't you wash that stuff off? Wash it off. And while you at it, wash your face, girl. Wash your face. Blood everywhere on her face. So she wipes enough of the knife in her hands, and she puts the bloody towel in her backpack with the knife, because she ain't leaving no bloody evidence there. But realistically, that bathroom has to be a hot, bloody mess, right? Realistically, come on now. So she puts the knife, scissors and bloody towel in her backpack. Then she bends down, opens the door, looks outside, and she proceeds to drag this man that weighs probably twice her size, his body out the door, and having a hard time, because you know she is. Remember when they thought they killed JT and they wrapped JT up in the rug, and the women could not even lift him? For one thing, those rugs are heavy, right? Those big room rugs with a body in it. Oh my goodness. And now, how you gonna lift that dead weight? But you know what? This is the Young and the Restless. Phyllis, you got this. Because she's like, oh, you gonna put me in a shallow grave? I know where the shallow graves are in Genoa City. Bingo, right? So miraculously, she's going to be able to drag that body out that room, drag it down the little hallway of this motel. Or some motels are outside, you know, but you still got to go down a little walkway. She's going to be able to, if it's downstairs, well, no, that said 150, whatever it is. So it's the first level. But she still got to get to a car, because it's not her car. I don't know what car she's using. Maybe Jeremy's car, because he came in one. So maybe she got his keys. Then she got to get that body up off the ground, y'all, and get it in the trunk. That within itself is a feat. Now, I don't know by personal experience, but I've seen enough movies and enough CSI shows. I've seen, and I know That's hard to do. Okay. So it's going to be interesting tomorrow. Good tomorrow to see if we see Phyllis. Woo! But I was like, I know who I want to take if I'm going into a dark alley, y'all. I want to take Phyllis. Phyllis is coming with me any day, anytime. You got this, Phyllis. So good. And see, you want to know what's going to work for Phyllis? What's going to work for Phyllis is he said he took half her money and transferred it. See, that's going to come up for a good, he kidnapped me. He drugged me. I don't know. I woke up in a room, or I woke up somewhere in this desert, or somewhere knocking on somebody's door saying, help me, help me. Yeah, see, now we gonna stage how I was the victim and how I'm gonna make it back to my family. And all the evidence, she need to get her hands on a computer, even the, because she's probably the one who ordered the strychnine and made it seem like Diane, because that's Phyllis's expertise. But Stark seemed to have a lot of people on his payroll that would do stuff like that. So we shall see, you know, how that's done. But I tell you what, Phyllis has the ability to make the actual paper trail go back to Stark. So she's got to get busy on a computer fixing things up. Fix it up, girl. I'm rooting for you, Phyllis. We all know she ain't going down with this at all. And I'm happy they're not dragging it out, because her coming back is going to be fast as well. So good, good. They're not going to kill us with that. Now, we've got, you know, it's nighttime. Sally and Adam are at the coffee house, but, you know, they're talking about how what a great day they, you know, Mariah and Tessa's baby and this, that, and the other. And he's happy he's going to the appointment. He's looking so forward to it. And Victor walks in the front door. Nick walks in from the patio. And Nick, see, this is what's so in your face, Nick, and this is showing your insecurities. He walks up, he always stands behind Sally, and he looks at Adam like, what you think you got, brother? Because she's going to be leaving with me, brother. And Adam kind of took the not offensive position at all. He didn't play offense. He didn't play defense. He just was cool, right? He played like he had some sense. And Nick just looked at him and he goes, Victor. And they see Victor at the door and they all kind of glance at Victor and glance away. And Nick is like, what's going on here? And Adam looked and Sally's kind of like, well, and he goes, ran into Sally. She didn't turn me away. She was nice enough not to just turn me away. We had a conversation. And Sally looked at him like, oh, okay, cool. Now, Nick, everybody, this is still the same day of the memorial service, right? Still the same day. Nick left Sally at the coffee house, but he didn't know Adam had come up. Because first I thought Nick left with Adam with Sally, but no, Adam came in after Nick left. Because Nick and Adam and Sally been together all day long, all day, just enjoying life and really enjoying their friendship and talking about their child. So Sally goes, well, you know what? It's late. I'm getting tired. I'm going to go. And Nick says, and that's my cue. I'll drive you back to the GCAC. He kind of looks at Adam and Adam's like, shh, right? But she leaving out of here with my child in her belly. There you go, brother. So Victor wants to talk to Adam. He really didn't want to talk to him. He says, son, sit down. So he sits down and he goes, it's just pathetic. You fondling after or just pining after a woman that's with your brother. Have some dignity with you. And he's going on. And Adam is like, wait, what? So finally, Adam says, you really don't know, do you? And he's like, don't know what? What are you talking about? Sally is pregnant and it's my baby. And Victor kind of sits back. He goes, oh man, oh man, oh man. Right? And then he goes, and why hasn't she told your brother about this? Adam looked at him. He goes, Nicholas knows. And Adam says, there's a DNA test done, because he goes, she could be staging this whole thing like she staged her fake terminal illness. Adam said, there was a paternity test. I'm the father. So you better start talking nicer about the mother of another one of your grandchildren. And Victor's kind of like, wait, what? Because that always changes the game. The mother of one of his grandchildren gets a pass, right? In the Newman, because he wanted to get his hands into that grandchild, right? So Sally just played her trump card. She's in like Flint now. Okay. So Victor's still saying, but still, she's with your brother. They made it. You need to move on. You need to focus on work, focus on business. McCall Unlimited. That's going to be back, in play. And you this, that. And Adam said, let me tell you something. What's the most important to me is Connor, this new baby, and being a good father to them, my family. And he gets up and he walks away. And I thought, well, you saying that right now, Adam, but look, another good, you would love to have for sure the power. If Victor gets McCall Unlimited, you right in there like Flint with that CEO seat, because that's just who you are. So now we have Kyle tracked Summer down. Him and Jack had a oh, mother, I can't stand she's in jail. Oh, she's still there. What we gonna do? And I'm in a rough place because I feel like I'm caught between my mother and my wife. So Kyle finds her, and Summer's kind of like, look for him. I left home for a reason and didn't tell you, right? So then he has the nerve, Kyle Abbott, who's much younger than Chance, okay? He's not just much younger than Chance. Chance is a officer of the law, a detective. And Kyle stepping to him about you wrongly got my mother in jail, and you this, that, and the other, and I'm telling you, I'm warning you. You better stay away from my wife trying to fill her head. And Summer's like, wait, nobody's trying to fill my head with anything. Wait a minute. And so she stands up and she goes, you know what, Kyle? Let's go home. Look, let's just go home. And he goes, fine. But he goes, I'm warning you, Chance. You stay away from her. And Chance is standing up, just looking at him like, boy, sit down. Please. For one, I'm going to follow the evidence, period, no matter what you say. And he just don't know. Summer was in there trying to beg him, you want to reenact the scene? She wants to reenact. She goes, because it's seared in my brain. He's like, no, Summer, I don't. He's like, you are not a part of this investigation. I don't know how many times I have to tell you that. You're not a part of it, because she's just like, you got to concentrate on Diane. And he's just getting it from everybody, right? So they leave, and Chance is like, thank God they're gone. Okay. Then we have Christine. She is still at society. See, without Paul, Christine can't go home, because she was at society earlier when Jack caught her at the table. And she told him, I cannot give you any information, period. And she walked away from him. Then he catches her again, and she's like, he goes, I'm sorry, I was a little abrupt with your assistant, but I had to just talk to you. I understand what you said earlier. I understand. And I know you can't give me particulars, but do you know of any attorneys? Now, Christine is back at the district attorney's office. She's probably the district attorney, the lead, right? Why would she give Jack names of her good names of her competition, people that are going to be competition to her? And she goes, I'm sorry, Jack. I mean, I'm sure you'll find somebody. And so what Jack had told Kyle at the house is all the good attorneys passed. Oh, no. They know Diane's history. And they're not touching the case. That ought to be telling you something, Jack, right? So he goes, I'm not going to look, no, I just, and she goes, no, I'm sorry. I don't have any names for you. Okay. Because I'm still looking. It's just, look, she's trying to pack up her stuff, right? She's trying to get away from it. It's just, look, if you could just give me, and I know that we've known each other a long time, and I'm not asking a lot. If you could just give me one piece of information that they're going on, so I know when I get an attorney, I could. That's when Christine really shoved her laptop in her bag, and she says, I'm sorry, Jack, I have to go. And she gets up, she goes, good luck to you and Lee. Same thing she did earlier. And he's just, you know how Jack is. You're not that rich, Jack. You're not that rich. Okay. She goes, I have principles and ethics. I cannot give you any information. She was ready to slap him senseless, right? Because you want her to bend and not bend, break the law, and give you information. Nope. And I'm happy. Chad should have even told Summer that there was arsenic found in Phyllis's bloodstream. Chad shouldn't have told her that, right? Summer has kept that secret. She ain't lying when she said I can keep a secret. So that was it for The Young and the Restless. Good episode. Is moving. Young and the Restless is moving right along, y'all. So let's go to comment corner. We got a few comments. You know what? Wait a minute. Do we have some comments? Because I read these already. Let's see. Do we have any comments that I'm missing for comment corner? Let's see. No, maybe. I didn't read these, although I could have. Well, we'll read them again because this is all I got. Scott's a new subscriber. He says, great video. You sound better when you speed it up. Thank you, Scott. Shortens the watch time by 5 minutes too. But I don't want the watch time shortened, Scott. I love it. I'm a subscriber now. Welcome. And then Brooklyn says, it's great to have you feeling much better. Thank you for the recap in the comments. Brooklyn also says, YNR's I think I read these, y'all. YNR's big mistake was firing the writers. This one has lost his mind, especially YNR has been number one for a number of times. I know, I don't think they're going to hang on to it this time. Brooklyn says, hopefully Audra blackmails Victoria when she makes sure she has enough evidence. Brooklyn also says, I'm hoping that Nick will forgive Phyllis. Oh, you mean after she comes back? Brooklyn says, if Phyllis kills Stark, which she did, she's going to jail and Diane will be released. Nope, Phyllis is going to get right out of that. Libby says, Victoria's hair was so funny, but she can't compare Nick being in a legit relationship with Sally with her being Nate's side piece. Adam and Sally were always 100. They brought out the best in each other, and while still keeping their spark. The writers lost, where am I at? Their dang mind hadn't said that in a while. So it needs mentioning. When they had him suddenly dump Sally, that did not make sense. It really didn't. Another YNR vlogger gave me a big spoiler for the week. I'm so glad you don't do that. No, I don't do spoilers. But Phyllis is going to have her work cut out for her. Not sure where the crazy writers are going with the storyline, but I already have an idea for part of it, which I will share when it won't reveal something that shouldn't be revealed, but it involves the EMT. Thank you so much, Libby, for not spilling the beans. But yeah, this ought to be good. They're going to have some twists and turns. Anita says, I agree, Adam and Sally are very comfortable with each other. Jack has gone kooky because Diane has been arrested. Phyllis and Jeremy saga is very exciting. Phyllis is no one to threaten. She did attempt to run down Cricket and Paul. Jeremy is in danger. And then Dito says, oh my goodness, great minds think alike in regards to Phyllis. She's going to flip the script. And boy, did she. That's not a spoiler. It's a prediction. I'm just thankful that Summer has started refusing Mrs. Martinez's coffee, and she now has a backbone. I don't understand one thing. Why do people think Phyllis can get charged for faking her death, but no charges were ever brought against Diane for doing the same thing? I know they sure weren't. She walked right back in the town and framed people for it, and they did nothing. Because if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. We would love to meet you and join us in the comments. Thank you, Ditos. Belinda says, great recap. Well, that is it for Comment Corner. Woo, we're going to have some good ones with today's episode with Phyllis. Whoa, y'all. Tell me what you think. I'll be back tomorrow with another daily recap for The Young and the Restless.